And next on our country tiers videos, we have the World War I, the First World War. Let's start off with, I'll start from the beginning and go to the end. So I think this here should signify Montenegro, I guess. And Montenegro, at least in the beginning, held off quite well, but then later on they kind of got destroyed, even by Austria-Hungary. So they should probably get a D or an E. I think I'll be a little harsh on them and give them an E. Next in line we have the Austro-Hungarians. The B team, the weak ones. No freaking generals were Austria-Hungary, all Germans. But at least they had some success in the Balkan fronts. And yeah, otherwise they weren't very good. I was going to give them an E, but then I decided in the end for a D. They weren't as horrible, but the success they had were because of the Germans. Next we have Belgium. Now Belgium just was rolled over by Germany, so sorry Belgium. Bulgaria is an interesting one. Since when they joined, they helped a lot against the Serbians, kind of turned that war around, and they kind of destroyed the Romanians as well. So I think the Bulgarians should probably get an A. The USA, they obviously came in the end to snatch all the glory, but let's be honest, they did turn the war when the Russians capitulated. I think they should get an A. They really helped with the freshmen. Maybe a B. Let's give them an A. France, for their size and the size of their army, actually did really well. I think a solid B. For once, they actually weren't that trash in the war. Next, we have the German Empire. Is that the right flag? Well, doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it's one of these flags, so I guess it's kind of correct. But well, let's get back. The German Empire, they kind of held off the whole world at World War I. They made massive gains in Russia. Okay, Verdun, the West Front was a horrible meat grinder, but all the generals otherwise were very useful in World War I. They deserve an S rank, kind of held off the whole world by themselves. Next we have Greece. Greece did kind of well. When they joined, they were quite useful, so I think a solid C. Italy again was kind of decent, didn't really do anything wrong, but they kind of was a meat grinder in the Alps, where the Austro-Hungarians held them very well off, so I don't think they should get more than a D, also for switching sides. Japan, well, they just kind of were a bit in the Pacific, getting stronger and took out some German colonies, nothing special, C. The Ottomans are an interesting one because they kind of were super weak at the start. They were the sickly man of Europe, and for what they had, let's say they weren't prepared at all, but for what they had, they did very well. Should get a B. Because they were better than the Austro-Hungarians. Portugal again just joined the war, kind of was against the naval warfare. It wasn't anything special, C. Romania, big F, big F. Joined the war, just got crushed. What was even the idea of that? They just went in and got unbelievable. One of the worst performances in World War I. The Russian Empire is interesting, since they managed to hold off the more technologically advanced Germans and Austro-Hungarians for a while, but at the end they did collapse and they didn't make that big of an effect. They were very under-technologically advanced. I think for what they potentially had to offer, they were weak. I think they should also get it. I'm not sure of a C or D. I'm gonna give them a D, because in the end they collapsed. The British invented the tanks. They were very useful, they carried the team quite often, supplied a lot of the fronts, helped to beat colonial Germany. Well, I'm not quite sure about Britain. I think they were quite good, they were very useful. I'm not sure if I should give them A or S, because they kind of did carry. It was a very small army, they did quite a bit of damage. I think not quite on Germany's levels in World War I, so A tier. And in the end we have Serbia, and Serbia is also a very tricky one because they did really well. They held off the Austro-Hungarians all by themselves, basically in the beginning, but they, in the end, eventually were crushed when Bulgaria joined. But still, the armies then went to Albania and to Greece and managed to hold out. So Serbia really overperformed by a lot. They also are up there for an S or A rank. Maybe I would like to give them something in between, but I have to choose. So, well, they did get crushed in the end, so let's give them an A rank. Tell me if my estimation is kind of okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you can make your own list, or just give me your list in the comments. It'd be interesting to see that. Yeah, this was a little more serious than the first one. I just memed it. This was kind of a bit more actual ranking, possibly. But there's some candidates. For Britain, I'm not quite sure if it deserves an A. USA also could be a B. Russia also could be a C, etc. This could go on quite long. There's a lot of discussion points. Oh, but Romania is definitely an F. Thank you for watching. Leave me suggestions for new videos. Have a nice and bye.